I remember back in college when me and my classmates were just all about to graduate. Everyone was asking one another, what company are you going to work at? Who are you going to apply to? What internships are you looking at? All that sort of stuff about what studio really they wanted to work at in the game industry. I had a whole bunch of game audio friends, and everyone was kind of looking at what city and what companies they wanted to work for. And I was one of maybe two or three people who was just saying, I want to run my own business. I want to freelance. That's what I wanted to do. And everyone looked at me like I was insane. No one could even fathom the idea of doing things on your own. And the common argument I received in response was like, but that's so unsafe. You won't have a regular paycheck. And oh God, like that's so terrifying. It's so hard to get jobs, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. And part of that's true. You don't have a stable paycheck and it's kind of hard to start. But it's paid off and it's well worth it. And the reason I freelance is so that I have that lifestyle that I want while being able to do my best work. My best work doesn't happen from 9 to 5 p.m. and maybe for you, it doesn't either. A lot of people make the mistake thinking that a game studio, any sort of AAA company, is the only way to get work in the game industry. And before that, it's impossible. You either get into the studio or you don't get work at all, period. That's not true at all. You can get quite a bit of work if you insert some of that hustle onto yourself. You're not relying on a gatekeeper or a large company to get you that work or to give you that experience. You're doing it on your own. And yes, it's harder at first. You won't get many gigs at first. You won't get well paid at first. And you may not have a lot of time at first because you're busy meeting people and networking and hoping a gig comes through and then not getting paid and then wondering what the next thing's going to be and hoping you don't go destitute. Yes, that all totally happens. But on the upside, you also have the ability to schedule your own day and have it all to yourself. I know what my best work hours are, and now I can work within them, and I don't have to reschedule my entire day from 9 to 5 to appease somebody else. As long as I get the work done, everything's great. Also, crunch time, I don't really participate in it. I've just chosen not to participate in crunch time, so I don't have to stay up until 5 a.m. slaving away at a computer, hoping that everything will work all right. I have the ability to schedule my days so that everything is even and works out pretty well. It's never perfect, but things work out pretty well. Also, the whole thing about the stable paycheck, well, freelancers, once you get to a certain level, often get paid more than the same job at a full-time company. So you can get paid more to do the same amount of work, to do the same work, than a full-time employee doing the same job. That doesn't always apply, but especially for game audio or things like concept art or composition or sound design or anything like that, it definitely can apply. So those are some of the reasons that I like to freelance. I hope you don't make the mistake thinking that the only people who can give you experience in the game industry are the big AAA companies. Even if that's your eventual goal, which is totally fine, that may be the thing that you work with best. That's great. That's absolutely fantastic. But if you want to gain that experience to get your foot in the door, start freelancing first. Start working on some small games first so you can start to build your skills and have something to show for it. You can come into that interview with stuff saying, here, play this game, I made these games, as opposed to just the standard demo reel of some sound replacements. That's all well and good, but if you start freelancing and building your own experience first, there will be tons of AAA companies who will want to work with you. Or if you want to keep freelancing, there'll be a ton of indie companies or clients one-on-one who will want to work with you. So if you think that the only way to start getting work is at a studio, I hope you can reframe that and realize that you can start building your own experience right away. You don't need to wait for anybody else. And if that's what you want to do for your whole life, I'm living proof, and hopefully I can inspire you to realize that it's completely viable. Hello everybody. If you like this video, please sign up for my newsletter. That's where I share all my best stuff for those of you who want to make a career regardless of what your discipline is, programming, art, audio, in the game industry. So for those of you who want an actual career that pays you and pays you well, sign up for my newsletter. That's where I share all of my best advice. Of course, also like the channel and subscribe. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.